It is the only ERJ-190 of JetBlue in scale 500 of Herpa Wings that has been made so far. Earlier this year I finally got my hands on it, so that of course calls for a closer look. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we, as mentioned, will take a closer look at an Embraer ERJ-190 of JetBlue. At the front of the box we have the cutout, so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we have the JetBlue branding. On the backside of the box we then have a lovely image of the aircraft in real life. We also provided with the original dimensions of the aircraft, and we also get some additional information with some really awesome backstory to the aircraft and the aircraft model. And here she is, the Embraer ERJ-190 of JetBlue in the Blueberries livery, which was introduced to mark the 10th anniversary of the airline in 2009. The model itself is from 2014. Now let us take a closer look at the aircraft model itself, and we start off with the tail section, where we have the JetBlue branding on the vertical stabilizer on top of the Blueberries design. On the fuselage we then have the flag of the United States of America, the full registration code of the aircraft, and the aircraft type specification. And if we look at the very tail of the aircraft, we also find a little bit of detailing around the APU exhaust. At the front of the aircraft, across the fuselage, we then again have the writing of JetBlue, and we also find the name of the aircraft. The cockpit section itself is rather bare-boned. We don't get too many details here other than the window wipers and the cockpit windows themselves. The engine nacelles have been kept in this dark blue color that JetBlue uses in their branding. We also have the JetBlue.com branding printed on, as well as the silver leading edge. The overall physical detailing of the engine nacelles, I think, is rather nice. If we look into the engines from the front, we can very nicely see the engine fan blades. Overall, I think the engines are decent, but I would have liked more printed details on them for sure. Then on the fuselage, just above the wings, we have the emergency exit printed on, and that leads us straight to the wings, which we should definitely also take a closer look at. And if we start off here with the top side, we can see the different flaps, slats and spoilers have been carved out very nicely. We also have the marking for the emergency exit, very nice indeed. Also the underside of the wings I think looks rather decent. I really can't complain here. The Embraer ERJ-190 then also has these lovely winglets with the JetBlue coloring here as well, and I think Herpa has done a very decent job replicating those into scale 500. Then we have the landing gear. That is the standard landing gear that Herpa uses on all the Embraer ERJ-190 models in scale 500. Overall, I really like that they have gone down the route of realism here, although the landing gear and especially the front landing gear does become a bit fragile, so you just need to be a bit careful with that, but it looks great. And then last but certainly not least, we also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here in the back side of the aircraft and here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Embraer ERJ-190 in the Blueberries livery of JetBlue. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, if we talk about the print quality, well, this is simply a great example of perfect print quality from Herpa Wings. The only thing I would of course mention here is that they could really have added a few more details that would really have helped out the aircraft model. The physical detailing is also really of a high standard. I really can't complain here, especially the landing gear looks really great. So if you can get your hands on it, which is of course not super easy because the model is from 2014 and it is the only ERJ-190 of JetBlue in scale 500 of Herpa Wings, but if you can get your hands on it, then I would say absolutely it is an aircraft worth having in one's collection. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.